Hi, boys and girls. So, for our writing lesson today, we are going to talk about revising with intent. And this is very important, boys and girls, because you are going to be doing this in your own writing. And you may be asking yourself, well, what is intent? What is writing with intent? And writers, they write with particular intentions, meaning they have a purpose. Some writers, they aim to write stories to bring out a strong feeling or reaction by making their readers laugh out loud or feel sad or just a happy ending with the beautiful story. The list goes on and on. So, boys and girls, we've read or you may have heard about Owl Moon. And if you have, or if you haven't, that's okay. We'll briefly talk about one part of the story and we'll look at how detailed that part was and how usually we can use that intention that the writer used in her own story in ours, right? And there's so many intentions, boys and girls. So I don't want you to just focus on one. I want you to explore different options, okay? So think about, was there a particular emotion that you want your reader to have? Do you want them to feel happy when they read your story? Do you want them to feel sad? What is it that you want them to feel? What do you want your reader to get out of your writing? Okay, so let's take a look. And I'm going to go ahead and read this first page. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind. The trees stood still as giant statues, and the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us, a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. So, this was such a beautiful piece, boys and girls, because not only was I able to get the author Jane's intention of this particular part of her story, but I'm also able to imagine myself there. She did a wonderful job describing how it felt. She said that the trees stood so still as giant statues, so she compared them, right? And they stood so still because she said there was no wind. And she said that the moon was so bright that the sky seemed to shine. And then she described the noise of the train and how it sounded like a sad, sad song. So she did a beautiful job of explaining and how she wanted us to feel as readers, right? So I want you to think about, how can I bring out, or what intention am I going to use, or what intention do I want my readers to get out of my story? So let's go ahead and look at mine. So if you have been watching Miss Santos writing videos, you know that Miss Santos has been writing about pumpkin pie, right? And if I'm being honest, it was a good story, but because it's a moment that I really cared about. But if you ask me what I was trying to do as a writer, I honestly don't know what I would say, because I don't know if I was trying to make my reader laugh out loud or look at how beautiful my story was. The truth is, I'm not sure what I intended or tried to do as a writer. And I know that you guys may feeling the same way with your writing, and I'm here to tell you that that's okay, especially the first time around. But let's go ahead and see how we can bring out our intentions and get our reader to take away what we want them to. So let's go ahead and look at my story. Okay, so like I said, I know that it's a good story, but I don't think my readers reading this, I don't think they're going to get the true intention of what I want them to. So let me go ahead and I'm going to think about, what do I want? Do I want my readers to feel like it's a beautiful story? Do I want them to laugh out loud? Oh, yes. There's this one moment that I didn't share that I think is going to make my reader laugh out loud. So let me go ahead and add that. So my baby cousin was eating pumpkin pie, but smashed all of the pie with his fingers and rubbed it across his face. We were all laughing. Boys and girls, do you think that's a laugh out loud moment? Do you feel that my reader, you, if you were to read this, do you feel like you would laugh out loud? Yeah, I think so. And that would be my intention, right? My intention is to make my reader laugh out loud. That is my purpose of my story. But boys and girls, I also have another intention. My intention is to let my reader know how beautiful my story is, how I felt. So I'm going to think about, and I'm going to include a detail that would make my reader take away from my story. So I'm going to say, the room was filled with smiles, laughter, and love. I was surrounded by those I loved the most. So, reading this part, do you feel that my intention to my reader is that I want them to take away that this is a beautiful moment, a beautiful story? I think so. Yeah, you're right. Because I'm describing how the room felt. We're at my parents' house and we were all eating pie, and the room was filled with smiles, laughter, and love. And I was surrounded by those I loved the most, right? So I have, well, first of all, I have a lot of intentions, right? And then, so there's different ones that you can pick, right, boys and girls? So have different options. Don't just focus on one. Consider how you want your reader to feel. What do you want them to get out of your story, right? Did I just try one thing? No, I tried many things, okay? So do the same. Explore different options, okay? So I want you to think about, are you trying to tell a sad story, a funny one, an exciting one? Think, what kind of story am I trying to tell? Think about what you want your readers to feel, okay? All right, boys and girls, we cannot wait to see what you come up with. And don't forget, when you are done, to take a picture so your teacher can see. All right, good luck.